Hello boys and welcome to Asphyxia, profile production, next part, Sakura Succubus 6. So, let's jump into where I left off last time. So Hazel won the tournament and, well, that's just about it. And here we can see Hazel winners are reigning champion accepting her trophy. She did great out there on the courts today. Her performance is one that won't be forgetting in a hurry. How do you feel about today's events, Miss Williams? Are you satisfied with your performance? And also a well-dressed man with slicked back hair holds the microphone up to Hazel's face in front of her mouth. Hazel is standing on a plinth in the middle of the tennis courts, holding a golden trophy tied to her chest. Her opponent, the blonde, muscular Svitolina, meanwhile, is standing to her left holding a silver trophy, while a commenter who was knocked out in a previous round stands to her right with a bronze trophy. All three of these winners are damp with sweat, Hazel included. Though I can only view her from a distance, I can see that Hazel's hair is stuck to her cheeks and her whole face is flustered. Hazel's ample chest rises up and down as she inhales, and her striped vest clings to her curves. Hazel looked like she was utterly in control of the course of her last tennis match, but now I can see that perhaps wasn't the case. Hazel might have beaten Svitolina soundly, but it wasn't an easy victory for her, not by any means. Svitolina must put Hazel through her paces. Hazel's muscular legs are trembling as it is the arm which clutches her trophy tightly to her chest. She looks ready to collapse at any moment, but given Hazel's obvious state of exhaustion, her face is illuminated by a bright smile. Hazel is obviously in her element, standing as she is in the winner's podium. Her face positively glowing, and no, that isn't just because of the sweat. I don't know if I ever seen her look more enthused. And the interpreter standing beside her translates the announcer's question for her, and she responds in Japanese. Well, I'm very glad you asked. I had a blast out there today, really I did. The day couldn't have gone any better. I felt like I was at the top of my game, but that's only cause my opponents were all trying so hard. They were giving it all, so I felt obliged to step up the plate. I wanted to give them a good game. I'd be rude if I didn't meet their efforts with all I've got. The interpreter relays Hazel's response back to the announcer in German, who laughs. Well, you certainly did that. Hazel grins alongside the announcer as she interprets once more translates his reply. Hazel, I can't help but think as I watch her from the stands, is very energetic woman. She puts her all into every single one of her pursuits, and she has no shortage of passion. It's obvious just to observe her that she really does love tennis. I think she adores it, in fact, and it's because of this adoration that I admire her so much. I think the announcer must be experiencing similar feelings to my own as she continues to interview Hazel. She's so amenable even when she is dripping in sweat. It's hard not to get swept up in her pace, even when her responses are delayed by a language barrier. Your matches out there was positively electrifying, especially the last one with Svitolina. I've never seen anything like it before. Well, thank you very much. I always strive to do my best. I want each of my tournaments to be more exciting than the last, and of course I want my fans to have fun. A lot of people came to Astoria to cheer me on, and I want to show them that their efforts weren't in vain. I want to answer to all of their expectations and make them proud of me. I'm sure they are. You made all of Japan very proud with today's performance. But, and please forgive me in this question is so personal, is there anybody in particular you were thinking of while you were playing today? Anybody in particular? Huh. Oh god. I see a second Manhunt coming on. Hester smiles coyly at this, then roughly 0.2 seconds later glance at the private box where I'm sitting alongside Stephanie, Elizabeth, Marina, and Hifumi. Oh. All of a sudden I can feel myself beginning to sweat. I think I have a decent idea what Hazel's about to say, long before the words escape her lips, but I meant to keep it hush-hush, but you know what? I guess I don't mind spilling the beans. I'm not ashamed of any of my relationships. The papers can print what they want and I won't care. I'm proud, in fact, to be dating such a great guy who cares for me so much. It's partially because of him that I've been able to push myself so much lately, after all. He came to see me before today's performance and that gave me a real boost. I know he'd be watching me, he's still watching in fact, so I really want to give it my all. Not that I wouldn't if I didn't have a boyfriend in mind, but I feel like I can be my best self when we're together. He gives me strength. Oh? The announcer, obviously intrigued by Hazel's words, looks at her askance. And who, might I ask, is this mysterious partner of yours, to whom you attribute your success? Once more the interpreter translates the question for Hazel, who pondered it for a few moments before replying. Well, I tell you, I'm sure he'll be a little bit bashful. He's kinda shy, but I'm sure he'll get over it quickly enough. Ahem. Hester clears her throat, and when she does, the silence seems to pass through the stadium. The spectators still sitting in their seats lean in, their eyes trained on Hazel, as though nothing could be more important than the secret she is about to share. It's so quiet you could hear a pin drop. A few anxious, awkward moments pass before moments Hazel seemed to savor, being a connoisseur of chaos before embracing her trophy title. Hazel says, I've been dating a real sweet guy called Sakura Hiroki for these last few months. We spent a lot of time together and I'm really crazy about him. He's super cute, he's fun to tease and he always cheers me on. Sometimes he tells me I'm a bit too much. I've hauled him out jogging with me during the early hours of the morning on too many times I think, but he's never ever given up on me. He believes in me, which helps me believe in myself. That's why I love Hiroki so much. He really is the best. Hiroki. The announcer, who must be clued into more than just the last news in the sporting world, frowns. That name sounds familiar. It isn't particularly common. Is he the celebrity in his own rights or sporting star himself, perhaps? Oh no, it's nothing like that. Hiroki's not the best at sport. He always flags behind me when we go jogging, but he has a huge heart to make up for it. Now that's an interesting compliment. I heard Hazel tell me during our more steamy interactions, shall we say, that certain part of my autonomy is huge, but I've not heard her lavish the same praise upon my cardiac muscle. I guess I'm flattered. I would be, at least, if this didn't feel so awkward. I wanted to keep the truth about my myriad relationships hushed up, but it feels like the members of my Succubus harem are revolting against me. First, Hifumi announced her feeling for me live on TV, then Marina and Hazel clung to me at the airport in front of the paparazzi, and now Hiroki actually dated the super famous actress Yamamoto Hifumi and the very mature, incredible, scary CEO Wakitsuki Marina. But despite having all these wonderful women at his beck and call, he still makes a lot of time for me too. I beg your pardon? The announcer looks floored by the unexpected announcement. As well he might. I wouldn't believe the words spilling from Hazel's mouth either if she didn't look so very earnest about it all. It's crazy enough that there's a man out there who could win the heart of Yamamoto Ifumi, but Watsuki Marina Hazel Williams, it does sound like too much. Isn't one incredibly famous, beautiful woman enough for this man? If I wasn't for Ogisawa Hiroki, I want to tear out his throat with my teeth. That's such a jerk. Is this Hiroki really as popular as all that? He really is. He's very popular and it's well deserved. He has this way of talking to people, you see. That makes them feel so, I don't know, loved, I guess. When we're together, I really do feel like I matter. And it doesn't hurt that he smells so good either. He does? That's truly interesting. Ah, geez, since Hazel replies or being translated by the bemused-looking interpreter, the whole stadium going to know about my supposed scent now. This is just great. If it were possible to die from embarrassment, I think I'd keel over. There only so much public praise I can take before it starts feeling like an excursion in public humiliation. Well, manhunts are on the way. Is Sansa enjoying all this? Does she know how awkward this is making me feel? Part of me thinks she does know this full well and she simply doesn't care. Hazel is not a sadist like Marina, but she is always enjoying making me squirm. Malcolm says really nice, yeah. He's better scented. He's better than a scented candle, huh? When we're together and I get good sniff of him, I go weak at the knees. Maybe that's why I like him so much. Hazel seems to ponder this for a few moments, while the audience murmurs amongst themselves. I can't hear what they're all saying, but I'm prepared to bet good money that the words "what the" and "fuck" will be seeing a lot of use. I think this even is being publicly televised too, not just in Astoria but internationally. These tennis tournaments are a big deal and a lot of famous names are here. Will people be listening to this all across Europe, America? Well, what about Japan? Will my dad see this? I know he's a big fan of Hazel Williams. He's more into tennis, in fact, than I am. This is so awkward. I stare at Hazel willing her to stop talking, but alas, no telepath, and there's nothing I can do to shut her up. Not now she's on a roll. She's out of control. I've never been super serious about any of my past relationships, but I am serious about Hiroki. I like him a whole bunch, and I hope we can stay together for a real long time. He's super cute, you see. When we're together, I really do like I can do anything. Well, I'm dead. Later that night. Have you gotten a good look at the Hazel Succubus form before? I know we got a slight look at it in the Succubus realm, but not in sprite form. We only saw it in a special picture. I think the belts across her stomach is a little too much. And for a fact, the autonomy here ain't correct, because that skirt is way too low to cover up anything. I mean, it's like you have having your pants at your ankles. You don't cover up the things you are supposed to cover up, and the autonomy here does suggest that she wouldn't be able to cover up at least the top of it. But let's continue reading. Oh, today's tournament was like so much fun. I see buzzing. I'm so hyped I just can't sit still. I can see that, yes. You don't need to tell me as much. You were fiddling with your cutlery, something fierce at the dinner table, like a small child. And now we're retreated to our rooms, you keep jiggling about. Watching you is tiring me out. Are you sure you don't feel tired, Marina? 'Cause you're getting on in years. Maybe I'm too young and spry to and energetic for you to deal with, huh? Why you? Marina's right eye twitches as it so often does when the taboo topic of her age comes up. I'm used to you making thoughtless comments about me, but this is a new low coming from you. Is this a roundabout way of asking to be punished, Hazel? Oh no. It's demurs at this. Her fingers curled together at her front, a visible droplet of sweat forming on her brow. I'm good on the punishment front, really. You already made your point, Marina, so you don't gotta discipline me, not nor ever. Good. Marina cracks her knuckles ominously. Let's us hope for both our sakes it remains that way. Actually, I think when you're a succubus, age doesn't really have a part in anything. I mean, succubuses are usually a part demon, which means they can become a few thousand years old without actually look any different. But of course, if they don't get enough praise, their looks start to fade a bit. Let's also hope for both our sakes it remains that way. I don't enjoy being cruel to you, I hope you know that. You sure could have fooled me. If I'm harsh on you, it's because you invite it, by failing to behave as an adult ought to. You need to learn some decorum. Marina's eyes were toying with a strand of her pale hair. I had hoped staying in the palace might drum some respectability into you, but you seem every bit as wild as always. The princess' manners have rubbed off on you in the slightest. That be because rather than spending time with Steffi, Hazel been too busy going on dates with this naughty receptionist instead. I murmur this under my breath so quietly nobody seems to notice, nobody except Hifumi, that is. Her interrupts peaked. Hifumi examines me while resting a finger against her lower lip. What receptionist? Never mind. I'm guessing Hazel been keeping her affair with Lily a secret, most likely because Marina would chastise her about it if she knew. As a succubus, Hazel is supposed to keep her true identity hidden, but as an incredible blabbermouth, she isn't the best at this. Marina probably worried that rightly so. I think that the more pretty girls Hazel seduces, the higher the chance are that she'll out the true nature of her existence to them. I don't think this has happened just yet, but it never hurts to be careful. It's a shame careful isn't the word that she seems to exist in Hazel's vocabulary. She's always been so brazen. Hazel brazen when she plays tennis, sans underwear, and her succubus attire is the skimpiest of all the succubi I know, which given how much skin they expose, quite an accomplishment. Hazel is wearing her Succubus attire right now. In fact, as are Marina and Hifumi. It's been a few hours since Hazel stepped off the tennis court, and she's taken on the Succubus form to relax. But Hazel looks full of energy all the same. The adrenaline hit, which came from the unquestioned victory, mustn't have faded away just yet. Hazel sighs and stretches, her toned arms raised above her head. Today really was a blast, though I had such a great time. I feel like we gotta celebrate my victory just a little. I don't want to spend the night cooped up indoors. Celebrate? Hifumi blinks. And how do you plan to do that exactly? If you want to drink, I will have to veto that idea. Huh? But why? Why can't I drink if I wanna? You and Hifumi do it all the time. I know we do, but Hifumi and I are unlike you mature adults. We know our own tolerances. And when to call it quits. You, on the other hand, Marina looks Hazel up and down, her lips curling, are a menace. A menace? Yes, indeed. You're difficult enough to deal with sober, let alone drunk. If you drank too much, you would probably begin to assault Stephanie's maids, and then we would be cast out of the palace in disgrace. I do not want to spend my night pricing you away from a bunch of freely skirted innocents. Boo. Hazel paused, her fingers curling into fists upon the sheets. Does that really sound like something I would do? Yes, it does. You know it does. You already have trouble keeping your hands to yourself. Your inhibitionism don't need to be lowered further still. I'm afraid I must agree with Marina here. While I do not condemn you for your excess energy here, so I don't want you getting into trouble. It would be a poor way to cap off your success today, don't you think? You two are like so boring. You don't let me have any fun. On the contrary, I'll let you have just much fun as is permissible. I stop short, however, on condemning assaults. As the pulse deepens. I guess you're trying to look out for me in your own way. Indeed I am. You may say whatever you wish about me, but I do at least care. Though I'm starting to think more fun hanging out with Ayu and Cosmos, they're not so stuffy. That's because Ayu and Cosmos are still children. Ayu in particular can be awfully immature, though she is very sweet. I've been wondering actually how she's been getting along in our absence. I hope she isn't missing us too much. Hifumi might be none the wiser as Cosmos and Ayu's feelings, but I'm pretty clued in on them. Cosmos told me herself that the dream she sent me that Ayu had been missing me, and badly. Ayu tried to refute this, but her flushed face made the truth readily apparent. Ayu's a lot more sensitive than she likes to let on. I think she might be the most delicate member of my whole hammer, in fact. Well, since drinking is out, Hazel rises from the bed, stretching, and transforms her Succubus attire melting away to be replaced with her blank pants and her puffy coat. Maybe we could go for a walk, just you and me. What do you think about that, Hiroki? You want to spend some time together? Well, why not? You're my beloved, you know, as I believe I made quite plain back at the stadium. You did make it quite plain, yes. As I recall the passion of Hazel's earlier address, my shoulders slumping beneath the pressure of it all. I wonder what Lily made of all that. She must have been pissed. I'm sure she'll get over it. I told her I didn't want anything exclusive. Now, Hazel bounces over to me, then twins her arms through my own. You wanna come with me? It's pretty chilly out there, but I can always warm you up, and the moon does look very pretty. It's way too nice to just sit indoors. I wanna live my life, darn it. You have too much energy. I think you'll live enough for 5 people. I showed Hazel sideways glances and an amused smile playing about my lips. But sure, I suppose going for a walk is better than harassing Steffi maids. Hey! Hazel nudged me in the side with her elbow. What do you think I'd harass Steffi maids? Oh, I don't know. It seems like the kind of scurrilous pursuit you might get involved in. I concur. You have no sense of propriety, Hazel. If any member of our regime has to harass their Stephanie's mates, it would most likely be you. Not, of course, that I think you would stoop so low. Not with Hiroki and at least. He should be able to hold you back. Jeez. You guys are all so mean to me. It's like you don't trust me at all. Who's that side of you even on, Hiroki? I don't know. The side of justice, maybe? Are you saying I'm unjust? You would be if you started making moves on Steffi's maids. I'm not going to make any moves on any maids. Here's the scowls. That's grossly hypocritical anyway. Given everything you've been up to with Elizabeth, you're the real philanderers here, not me. I guess that's not wrong on that score. I've gotten pretty up close and personal with Elizabeth. Not that Hazel knows about all of the finer details. Maybe I really am a hypocrite. Jeez. Not for the first time, I find myself pondering how hard being popular is. My company is near constant demand. Not I suppose that's inherently a bad thing. It can be pretty exhausting, but there's something soothing too about being so adored. At least I never have cause to feel lonely. I don't have the time for it. I really have become quite beloved. Ah, the night air is so cool and refreshing. Don't you think so, Hiroki? I'm not sure if refreshing is quite the right word for it. I glanced about the palace gardens, my teeth chattering all the while. It was at Hazel's continued insistence that I came outdoors, but I'm starting to regret it. It's pretty late at night, and the sky over her head is dark as pitch, spattered and there with stars. The moon, meanwhile, is large and full, just like a saucer full of milk. The way the ghostly moonlight plays upon the treetops, all shifting in the breeze, is quite pretty. I suppose, but not even the prettiness of the night sky is enough to distract me from how cold it is. I don't know what the precious temperature is, but it's cold enough that I can feel goose flesh beginning to ripple along my arms. There's a bit of a breeze too, which tugs at the hem of my shirt and tousles my hair. I'm afraid if we don't cut our nighttime meandering short, I wind up catching a cold. I am but a feeble human, weak in flesh and spirit, and I can only endure so much of this Arctic weather. Huh. Hazel, for her part, seems completely hairless of the cold, though she's wearing far fewer layers than I am. Hazel might be clad in a pair of pants, but they're right low about her hip, and they reveal an awful lot of her smooth-tuned stomach. How can she bear to wander around with so much skin on display? I'm baffled. Then again, similarly baffled by the stalwart refusal to wear underwear, even while playing professional tennis matches. As a succubus, she might be somewhat beyond my comprehension. Hey, Rocky. Smiling deviously, Hazel's side up to me, then winds one of her arms through mine. The moon looks super pretty tonight, don't you think? Oh? I look up at the night sky and the moon, which hangs in it large and celestial. I was so caught up with how bitingly cold the weather is, I wasn't paying the moon too much heed. Now that Hazel mentioned it, though, the moon does look rather pretty. It's the sort of moon you expect a poet to devote an epic to. Or something. I'm no poet, so I wouldn't know, and neither is Hazel. Poetry seems more like Ifumi's domain. It's pretty, yeah, but I didn't expect you, of all people, to come out with a line like that. No? No way. I didn't think you were the sort to get all sappy about the beauties of the natural world. Oh yeah? Pouting Hazel nudges me in the side with her elbow. What sort of Philistine you take me for anyway? I can't too appreciate the moonlight when I'm in the right mood. And you in the mood for it tonight, I guess. I'm in the best of moods. Playing the tournament earlier was like so much fun. I had a real blast. Svitolina was a pretty fierce opponent. She didn't make things easy for me out there. I really had my work cut out for me. Did you now? My bro furrows. From what I saw, you looked like you had the tournament in the bag. You seemed totally cool and in control. Maybe it seemed that way, but it was pretty intense. She had me running all around the court. She was no pushover. Maybe not, but you gave as good as you got, and then some. The victory was rather decisive. Well, of course, I don't push myself day after day just to roll over and lose. When I play to win, in all aspects of life. Though I always have the most fun when I'm faced with a real challenge. It's no fun, you know, fighting against opponents who can make me sweat just a little. It makes me feel kind of guilty, in fact. I like my foes to have a bit of gumption. So victory feels even sweeter, you mean? Exactly. I like a bit of a challenge, the struggle part of the appeal when it comes to sports. You find struggling fun. Now you're starting to sound like a masochist. Well, you know, they say, no pain, no gain. If you aren't prepared to push yourself, you won't be able to reap any rewards. Life would be boring if everything was just handed to us. The work's more important than the results. Though, of course, I'm very happy that I won. That you were around to watch me. Thank you, Hiroki, for always rooting for me. I really do appreciate it. You're a great wingman and even better partner. No problem. That's my touched by Hazel's sincerity. We are partners, like you said, so I want to be here for you. It seemed only fitting that I stopped by to offer you some moral support before your tournament. I know how seriously you take tennis, even though you might act to the contrary. It's important to you, isn't it? But of course, tennis is my passion. I love it a whole bunch. If I didn't, I wouldn't work at it so hard. I love the thrill I get from running around the court, especially when I'm not wearing anything under my skirt. It really is liberating. Of course, I should have known, Hazel being the way she is, she would steer this heartfelt conversation into lewd territory. In that sense, Hazel's rather predictable, though she is predictable in an amusing way. I guess I take your word for it. Huh? Don't you even wanna give it a go yourself, Hiroki? Going commando? Yeah, there's like no better feeling in the world than dashing through the tennis courts, rack quest in hand, anticipating serve while the breeze blows against your thighs. It's my favorite sensation in the whole wide world. It seems a real shame you never had a chance to experience it for yourself. I think I pass on that. If it's all the same to you, I don't need to strip off my underwear to have a good time. And nobody would want to see me in a tennis skirt. I don't think it suits me. I beg to differ. I think you look good in anything. Are you sure you're not just saying that? I found. Maybe the adrenaline from the tournament's gone to your head. It's addled you. There's no way I would ever look good in a skirt. And even if on the very unlikely of chance a pleated tennis skirt did suit me, I don't know if I'd feel wholly comfortable wearing one. I'm pretty tall and I have an awful lot of leg. I wouldn't want to put my thighs on display like that. Besides if my mother ever got wind of these proclivities of mine, she'd... Well, I was going to say disinherit me, but after learning how A-OK she was at the prospect of me being gay, maybe I'm jumping the gun. For all I know, my mother might be totally fine with me wearing a skirt. Maybe. She's more open-minded than I thought. Well, we'll just have to see about that. Don't tell me you want to put me in a skirt on one of these days. It'd be an interesting experiment, I guess. Yeah, I figured she'd say something like that. Sorry. As much as I like the attention, I can't say I had to be taught of a dress-up doll, or indeed a dress-up darling. Nope, I'm not going there. I'd rather be Ace's wingman, or heck, even Ayu's cameraman. Or maybe we can leave it for now. That sounds like a good idea, yeah. The world isn't ready for the sight of my bare thighs just yet. Sorry, universe, for robbing you of something to squintillating. Hey, Hazel. As if as another gust of wind hits me, maybe we should go back indoors soon. I think it's getting even chillier. Just a sec, I've not had my fill of the great outdoors just yet. No? I found I fished my phone out of my pocket and a quick glance tells me it's 23:48, almost midnight. If this was Cinderella, I'd be desperately shooing Hazel away from the palace before the magic can wear off and her clothes can turn back into rags. Not that Hazel wearing a dress or a pair of crystal slippers. I don't think they really suit her. Hazel's pretty, but she's not the girly girl, not like Stephanie. I mean, I think glass slippers is the worst thing anyone ever could have thought up. I bet if you look online, you could probably find a pair to buy, but I wouldn't suggest anyone wearing them because slightest misstep or too much weight onto them, and well, I think your feet actually would have to be amputated. I mean, glass breaks pretty easily. It's getting late though. Aren't you tired? As if I can sleep after everything that happened today. I'm like way too keyed up. I need to work out some of this nervous energy before I go back inside else I explode. Explode, huh? Frown. That sounds serious. It is serious. That's why you got to stay with me, okay? Although during the night, so I don't go crazy. I need somebody to talk to. I just want to cut loose and have some fun. I'm a free spirit and I can't be constrained. I think you might be a bit too free if you ask me. I murmur under my breath, more for my benefit than Hazel's. I still think she could stand to give underwear a fair shot every once in a while as Hazel darts off. She flits through the garden examining some of the night blossoming plants that fill the flower beds before coming to a pause by the water fountain. Oh, this is so pretty. Hazel eyes the fountain approvingly, then after a pause steps upon the stone wall which fringes it. She stands before the streaming water, her hands on her hips, and laughs triumphantly. And so high up now, I feel like the queen of the world. Right now, I think I could do almost anything. I'm sure you could if you almost anything you mean catch a cold. I shiver as yet another unforgiving gust of wind buffets me. I can't bring myself to approach the perimeter of the fountain like Hazel has. The sound of the water drumming against the stone basin is enough to make my blood turn cold. If the air is frigid, the water must be colder still. I think you should step away from the fountain. What if you fall in? Oh, it'll be fine. Don't fuss so much, Hiroki. How can I help but fuss? You're acting like an excitable toddler. I feel like I need to keep an eye on you for your own sake. Well, geez. I don't know if I should find your concern touching or mildly annoying. Here's the beams. But like I said, I'll be fine. I know what I'm doing. You saw me playing against Vitolina, right? Right, and you should know that my reflexes are second to none. I'm a little and athletic, a super limber too. And not so clumsy I'd lose my footing. Haha. Huh? But of course, contrary to Hazel's reassurances. Hazel? Her laughter is far too raucous, and in the end she does just what she said she wouldn't. Her sneaky clad foot slips on the stone rim of the fountain and she falls. Her body arcs backward, backlit by the moonlight, and splash. With an alarmingly burst of noise that tears through the stillness of the night, Hazel tumbles into the fountain. Droplets of crystalline water scatters in the wake of Hazel's tumble, all shimmering prismatic rainbow colors. I dart forwards, alarmed, my eyes wide. What if Hazel cracked her head against the base of the fountain? She would be a real pain for all I know. It looked like a nasty fall, and it sounded like one too. Hazel? Hey, Hazel. I call Hazel and my voice constrained, very concerned, but... well, that's the next picture. Actually, just before we end this episode, I just want to check the gallery. Yeah, we have a lot left. I mean, if there comes to a part where episode becomes too short, I could just do the image hunting with that. But at least that was all I have for Sakura Succubus 6 this time. So hit like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!